You guys want to watch the greatest magic trick of all time? Look. It's the Challenger exploding without anyone on it. But they told us that there was someone on it. Look at them. There's Dick
January
Scobie.
1986.
All of our astronauts. Krista McAuliffe. The teacher.
Humanity was about to witness one of the most horrific tragedies in history.
Remember they all died? It was so tragic.
7 crew members are heading out to board a doomed shuttle.
We mourned them for years, decades even. We named schools after them.
One of them is a school teacher.
Krista. Guys, this was brutal.
This is the first time a teacher would travel to space.
Oh, man. Or was it? Did she actually go? I'm not sure.
The world watched with excitement and anticipation.
What a great day, guys. Here it comes. There's no way our government... This is Krista McAuliffe's family. There's no way our government would have lied to us, right? What would be the benefit of lying to us and saying that all of the astronauts perished on that on that trip, huh? Why would they do that? That's crazy. They would never do that because there's no good thing that they could do from that.
7 lives were lost on that fateful day.
Oh, so traumatic. Guys, this was devastating. Look at them. All 7 of them. They all perished. There's no way our government would lie to us because you can't use trauma to control people. That isn't something that we learned from the monkey Ultron experiments, right?
Or were they?
Dude, if they weren't on that ship, I'm gonna lose it.
20 years later, investigators would discover that the 7 crew members never actually boarded the shuttle that fateful day.
You gotta stop.
Now I know what you're thinking. You're ready to call bullshit on this one.
Bullshit.
But let me stop you right here. The evidence that you are about to see will absolutely blow your mind. Sure, you've probably heard a dozen media outlets calling this a cooked-up conspiracy theory, but nothing could be further from the truth.
Brother, they
Many
didn't
people
change their
remember watching the
names.
explosion happened live on television.
Yeah.
I myself being one of them. There is no doubt in my mind that the explosion was very real. In this video, we will examine footage from various sources that not only prove that 5 of the 7 Challenger crew members are alive and well today, but will also shed light on the possible reasons why they were not on board. 3 of the 5 astronauts, Judy Resnick, Richard Scobie, and Michael J. Smith,
didn't change their
These
names.
3 crew members were not only found to be alive, but they were still using their original names. You may be wondering, why wouldn't they change their names?
No
And
internet.
the answer is relatively simple. Their names were not too well known, and in 1986, living under the radar was much easier prior to the internet age. Only 16 men, Ellis and Onizuka, both supposedly have living twin brothers named Carl McNair and Claude Onizuka.
Nope.
However, no birth records could be found for either one of them. What's even more interesting
Look at this.
is this. Let's take a look at this footage from then-President Ronald Reagan's memorial service for the Challenger crew.
Where's Ellison's brother?
Here we can see the parents and siblings of Ellis and Onizuka. But where is his living twin brother Claude?
Yeah.
And here we can see the family of Ronald McNair. But his living twin brother Carl is nowhere to be seen.
Because he would be...
The reason Carl and Claude were not in
bigger
attendance
than
for their
him.
deceased brother's memorial is the same reason why there are no birth records for either of them. They do not exist.
Bro, stop.
An investigator...
The CIA is so lazy. They did not care whatsoever. Like, they think that we're so dumb. Truly, that is what they think. Look at this. And then, not only that, there was 2 people missing from that video, right? And you know what we did this week, guys? What did we do? What the frick did we do? We found her. We found her, boys. We found Krista. We said, wait, so if all of these people faked dying on the Challenger, why would they do that? We figured maybe it's for money, you know? maybe it's for money. But then we started looking into that Monkey Ultron stuff, that stuff that Trevor Moore was talking about before he got. We started looking into that. And maybe they do use trauma to control us, because after this, these things started to happen like clockwork. It was like OKC, you know? It was like the Boston bombing, all the shootings, all this stuff, lone wolves. It's like looking like the CIA and possibly maybe Mormons are doing it. I think that, they're a doomsday cult. They want the end of the world to come. So, and if it's not happening, I guess you got to make it happen. But yeah, so we heard that Dick Scobie is a possible Mormon. So that's interesting. I'm wondering if maybe many of them are. I'm not sure, but some of them kind of have the look, They have the little Stepford wifey look. But yeah, so Sharon is not dead. 3 of them said that they're their twin sibling. And yeah, she's up in Syracuse. So then I started digging, and I says, what are these Mormons doing? I don't know if everyone knows this, but Mormons are very into technology, right? I think that they think that that's going to help them find their God or whatever. But not a lot of people know about this, but I think that we have a lot of secret Mormons running a lot of stuff. They own most of the defense contractor companies. They own most of the, weapons manufacturing companies. They own a lot of the spaceship building companies. They own like their own Silicon Valley, dude. Like, it's kind of nutty how much stuff that they have, because but anyway, so there are 4 really big connections to Mormons just from the Challenger launch. We got James Fletcher, who is the NASA administrator. We got the company Morton Thiokol, which is Utah-based rocket manufacturer. And guess what? I'm pretty sure it used to be Nancy. Used to be a Nancy company, I think. Hydropack, they manufactured those O-rings, and boy, guess what? They're made by fundamentalists. Did you know that? Yeah. Don Lind, he was a Mormon astronaut. And I'm not sure yet, but I'm thinking some of these Challenger folks were. So let's take a look here. What do we got here? Fletcher. Okay. So Fletcher was the administrator guy. He came from an illustrious line of Mormons and scientists. His ancestors converted the church in the early days, leaving Massachusetts, settling with Joseph Smith on the frontier, and following Brigham Young to Utah. Fletcher's dad, Harvey Fletcher, was a renowned scientist, a key figure in the development of electronic sound and collaborator with Nobel Prize winner Robert Millikan. Fletcher was destined for high technology. High technology is what Mormons are into. They own like their own Silicon Valley, They've got so much money, you guys. I don't think everyone realizes how much frickin' money they have, because it's a ton. It's like the biggest fund ever. And they stopped saying how much money they had in like the 50s. And they take 10% of all of their people's money every month. But anyway, so then Fletcher, William Robert Graham stepped down from his role as NASA administrator after the Challenger blew up. That dude stepped down, and Reagan put this guy in. This dude was the administrator, right? Okay. So then they told him to investigate, and they, caused a ruckus and didn't let anyone investigate the whole time. So then Morton Thiokol, this has a Mormon connection. Okay, what's that? Well, Morton Thiokol picked up contracts and built their first generation of American ICBMs in the 1950s, and they needed lots of room to test rockets away from the public eye, and Utah was the place. So the rocket builder transformed the small Mormon town, providing steady jobs and an influx of government funds. Employees were almost exclusively native Utahns, which is what we're finding out about the FBI too, guys. It's like we knew that they were recruiting significantly from BYU, but I'm starting to I thought it was like 60%. I'm starting to think it's like 99%, guys. And I don't know. I just think that if people who are kind of in a cult, and also like kind of hear voices in their head, maybe, I don't know if they should be in charge of the nukes.